Okay, good evening, everyone. Today I'm going to talk about looking into the disruptive technology and beyond. So in this past 10 years, a lot of things is happening. We know about the blockchain. We talk about IoT. We talk about artificial intelligence, genomic sequencing. This is one of the areas is booming very fast. Immunotherapy is also the same. Genomic editing is also booming very fast. A lot of things is happening. 3D printing, reusable rockets, robotic autonomous vehicle, and energy storage. Energy storage is a very big thing. It covers all industries. So for industrial innovation, there's all kinds of innovation element is involved. Autonomous vehicle, this one you all know already, I think so. 3D printing, you also know already. Automation and robotics, battery technology. Yes, this battery technology, I think a lot of people still don't know yet. Our handphone, currently, when we charge the time, maybe we need about 1 hour or 1.5 hours to charge our handphone. Next time, this duration will be shortened by a lot, and is coming soon. Okay, space exploration. Currently, there are 2 companies that's into it. In fact, there are 3, but the 2 companies is more prominent is the SpaceX and Blue Origin. SpaceX is by Elon Musk. It's under Tesla, and the other company is Blue Origin. Blue Origin is by Amazon. Okay, the third one is actually by Virgin Galactic. That one is a bit smaller one. Okay, but the most prominent one is SpaceX and Blue Origin. SpaceX is going to the Mars. Blue Origin is actually intending to build a space station in the universe. It's a big cylindrical city. Okay, later on I will show it to you. Mobility as a service, your mobile phone, innovative material. This one is under material science. Material science, a lot of things is going to happen. Genomic innovation, programmable biology, stem cell and immunotherapy, digital health, biological hardware, diagnostic beyond health. Our health will be prolonged, definitely for sure. Internet innovation, this one you all know already. This one is quite common, except the neural networks, there is artificial intelligence. Fintech, yes. Fintech, a lot of things is happening. Bitcoin, blockchain. Later on, I will talk about it. This one is quite a new things. Okay. So, electric car. So what is happening now? In this year, 2020, this market will take off tremendously. Okay, in fact, it has taken off already. If you look at some of the stock price for the new EV company, all these companies, the stock price has been rocketing. Okay, the biggest one we know that is the Tesla. The second one, Renault and Nissan and so on. But the Tesla, the number 1 and the number 2 is a big gap. Okay, even the number 2, the technology is no fight to the number 1 one. Okay, in fact, the rest of the electric vehicle got no fight to the number 1. Okay, this one you all need to take a look. And if you look at number 18, NIO E6, ES6, this is a China company. It's also doing the electric vehicle. Nowadays, people are comparing number 18 and number 1, NIO and Tesla. So a lot of things is happening. Do take a look at these 2. Okay. Inside Amazon City of the Future, yes, just now I mentioned about it, the Blue Origin. We know about Amazon. It's an online shopping platform. Actually, they did a lot of things. it is much, much bigger than shopping online. Okay, so this is a video. I think I show you the video for you better. It's about 8 minutes. It's quite informative. Okay, so I start. Can you all see? Can you see the movie moving? Can see or not?
Yes, but no sound.
No sound. Okay.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Amazon is poised to be the framework of our entire civilization.
Can you hear now?
Yes.
Over 25 years ago, Jeff Bezos was hand-packing books in his Seattle garage. Today, he's operating a global powerhouse worth more than $1.5 trillion. Tomorrow, Amazon is poised to be the framework of our entire civilization. From Alexa to self-flying drones, colossal fulfillment centers, and its very own airline, Amazon's collection of high-tech innovation continues to grow. But as more and more money is funneled into the company, and as thousands more of us become reliant on its services every single day, before we know it, we'll be living in cities completely run by Amazon. What would that lifestyle look like? And would it be better or worse off for the technological revolution? Today, Amazon dominates the world of e-commerce. It's one of a finite cluster of trillion-dollar companies, and its influence on technology and the world around us won't be slowing down anytime soon. But Amazon wasn't always a global powerhouse. Back when it was originally known as Cadabra, Jeff Bezos' latest business was over its head in risk. When he started the company in 1994, little did he know that groundbreaking trajectory it would soon take. When Jeff Bezos launched Amazon as an online bookseller, he didn't think success was likely. He thought there was just a 30% chance of everything working out, even warning his parents that they were highly likely to lose their $200,000 investment. With 1 million employees under his wing, the title of the richest man on earth, and an ever-growing list of innovative tech features, clearly the success came in droves. Within that list, you'll find one particular, albeit lesser-known Amazon experience that has room to grow and drive us toward a more accessible world of transportation. We're talking, of course, about Amazon vehicles. Tesla might top the brunt of the attention, but as we've learned time and time again, Bezos' ability to infiltrate a space is not to be underestimated. As it stands, Amazon operates the Amazon Vehicles subdivision. If you've never seen or used it, Amazon describes its vehicle service as a car research site that makes it easy for car shoppers to get the information they need when shopping for a new ride. But the future of Amazon Vehicles looks a whole lot different. In June of 2020, the company announced it was buying Zoox, an autonomous ride-hailing startup. Among Zoox's inventions, they've been developing a bi-directional vehicle. It has no steering wheel or obvious front or back end, allowing it to comfortably travel in either direction. This ambitious acquisition could put the tech giant in the business of moving people and not just packages sooner rather than later. By taking the vehicle one step further and integrating it with Amazon Alexa, the idea of a fully interconnected world comes one step closer. If Alexa knows your calendar, a car would be ready for you outside your home at the perfect time, taking into account all sorts of variables to get you to your destination on time, including traffic and weather. Speaking of homes, in the same vein as Amazon's vehicles department, they're already well and truly creating a presence in the housing and residency space. Although compared to the e-commerce and dropshipping sections of the company, it's a minor proportion. From 2013 to 2018, American industry revenue for pre-built homes grew at 8.6 every year to nearly 10.5 billion. Seeing this trend in motion, Bezos capitalized. Far more than books, clothes, and electronics, Amazon has started to sell its very own homes. Recently, we've seen this 1,000 square foot Eco House Smart Timber home listed on Amazon for about $40,000. This 113 square foot Lil Villa Escape for about $5,000. And this 292 square foot Lil Villa Allwood Gateway Cabin for $19,000. With tiny houses becoming all the rage, Amazon has partnered with multiple manufacturers to create DIY tiny homes. All you need is a plot of land with some time and elbow grease, and you've got your very own home. What could an Amazon house look like in the future? Think of these ready-to-made structures combined and synchronized with the state-of-the-art Alexa and Amazon technology. It would bring us one step closer to a centralized digital world, where the coffee starts brewing once the sun's up, where Alexa assesses your smart wardrobe and plans your outfits based on the temperature. We all know that Amazon already has hordes of customers, boasting over 150 million Amazon Prime subscribers. When any customer makes an order, their package is transported at rapid speed from warehouses and fulfillment centers using robots and streamlined operations technology. While the delivery methods have changed and advanced tenfold since the company's inception, in recent years, thanks to what Bezos calls Prime Air, the quality and speed of delivery has been taken to a whole new level. In a nutshell, Prime Air is all about one piece of technology: unmanned serial vehicles, better known as drones. The drone delivery system is designed to safely get packages to customers in 30 minutes. It's already a remarkable service. However, there is plenty more innovation in the pipeline. Amazon currently has 3 drone-related patented ideas, the first of which comes in the form of a blimp, which will act as a flying warehouse. The blimp will float around to the delivery area. Meanwhile, drones will headquarter themselves on the blimp and glide down to deliver the package. Less drone travel time and distance equates to more energy saved. Patent number 2 will see drones perch themselves on top of streetlights fitted with special docking stations. This will allow for charging when not in use. The streetlight platform will have a trap door, allowing the package to slide down to street level. Amazon's third concept is what's known as the beehive. Instead of large, flat, single-story fulfillment centers outside of major cities, the vertical beehive will sit within city centers, allowing drones to fly in and out. Of course, whether it be drones, self-driving cars, or smart houses, all of Amazon's products and services will rely on their extensive tech platform. Amazon's Alexa, which runs on AI technology, is the center of it all. It is capable of everything from telling jokes to playing music, putting together your to-do lists, and giving updates on weather, traffic, flights, and breaking news. But Alexa is far more than a virtual assistant. The AI can also control smart devices throughout the home, or the car, or your phone. Alexa acts as a motherboard to the home automation system. While these traits come with exceptional benefits, many people criticize Amazon for its collection of data. With Alexa active, Amazon can track everything from our behavior to our location, how fast we drive, how slow we run, our spending habits, and even our sleeping habits. If you've ever been talking about a product with a friend only for an ad to pop up on your computer, it's because Alexa is listening. Then there's another tech can of worms, AWS, or Amazon Web Services. This arm of the business, in their own words, offers reliable, scalable, and inexpensive cloud computing services. It's free to join, and you pay only for what you use. If it's free and the appeal of this cloud platform continues to grow, who's to say that Amazon won't soon control substantial portions of the entire internet? With Alexa gaining intelligence with every update, and with Amazon's technology only going one direction, up, an Amazon city is beckoning, and it promises to be immersive, unlike anything we've seen before. But is that a good thing or a bad thing? We'll leave that up to you. Besides its array of cloud systems, Amazon also boasts actual physical stores. Weird, right? They operate 7 types, including booksellers, grocery pickup locations, and cashierless convenience stores. Amazon also owns Whole Foods, which sports 500 locations in its own right. As Amazon is creating its own digitally connected cities, it's growing its street-side presence as well, with an intended reliance on Amazon Sidewalk. That's not a smart sidewalk, although that kind of technology wouldn't be too far away. Sidewalk is Amazon's own version of Wi-Fi, promising longer range than both traditional Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, with minimal power usage and complexity. With Sidewalk, Amazon is allowing us to be connected wherever we are. No longer will we be reliant on public Wi-Fi or walk around desperately in search of the strongest connection. With Sidewalk, the connection will follow you. If all this talk of drones of street lamps and self-driving cars in an Amazon-run Earth is a little too uncomfortable or a little too intimidating, fret not, because there is a solution. You could always head to Jeff Bezos' future city on the moon. The Blue Moon project is aiming to land in 2024. Or if you want to be rid of Amazon altogether, then hey, why not check out Elon Musk's proposed civilization on Mars? Does the idea of a totally interconnected world run by Amazon scare you? Or are you excited for the technology to come? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to The Richest, and have a great day. Catch you next time.
Okay, so you all see the things. Okay, so you all see the video of Amazon. So a lot of things is happening. So in fact, it will come to Singapore very soon. Okay, so energy storage. So we know about what is energy storage. It's talking about battery, clean energy. So wind energy, solar power, wind power. There are so many types of energy storage nowadays. So you can see from here, this year is 2020. So we are actually over here. By the time 2030, you see it will shoot up by almost 300 gigawatts per hour. So there is a tremendous increase in the energy storage. So you can see this area is booming very, very fast. Solar energy, this is.
Solarpunk is a sci-fi futuristic view that sees our world and technology being powered by solar. It is a future that is broken away from the fossil-fueled ways of the past, and a future that connects humans, technology, and nature together. This video takes a look at the futuristic ways our cities, homes, and lives will be taken over by solar power. Everything from cities filled with solar trees to building drones with solar panels. And what happens when you add robotics and AI to solar panels? Will they be able to start thinking for themselves? And how will that change the solar movement? What other ways are people building solar farms as they move beyond land and build floating solar farms and start looking to the skies? We will be ending this video with solar balloon towers and how solar panels will be fused with Tesla's Cybertruck. And what other ways will solar panels and solar power be used to build a more technologically advanced world? Since the amount of energy that the sun strikes the Earth in 1 hour is enough to power all of humankind's needs for a whole year. Will there be a day when our city and town streets are lined with solar trees mixed with natural ones? Cities from Singapore to Marrakesh already have these futuristic solar trees. Merging solar panels with a tree structure allows for more solar panels to be used without taking up more floor space on the ground, as the structures reach up and branch out. They also provide shade for hot city streets or even parking lots. And depending on the design of the solar trees, they can also give an area a more sci-fi-like and futuristic landscape, even lighting up at night. There are a number of companies that work on building solar trees, such as Spotlight Solar, Envision Solar, Smart Palm, Artemide Outdoor, and Smart Flower.
Okay, this one you can see in Singapore too. Okay, if you take a look, next time you go to the city area, you take a look. This one is actually in Singapore already.
You can see the solar trees being used in different places around the world. In Florida, solar trees have been popping up in zoos, near museums, airports, and parks. India has created the world's largest solar tree with 35 panels at the CISR CMERI residential colony in Durgapur. And then there is Singapore, who has created a skyline that looks like a Photoshop concept image. But these are real solar trees. There are 18 super trees that collect rainwater and work as cooling ducts, and 11 of them have solar panels, which powers water pumps and powers the super trees when they light up at night. The super trees also draw in air, sending it upwards, creating a breeze at ground level. Visitors are able to walk up among the trees along the skywalks that connect them. All of this is part of Singapore's goal of creating a city inside of a garden. What happens when you start mixing robotics with solar panels and make them smart machines that start thinking for themselves? The reason for adding robotic elements to a solar panel is as the sun moves during the day and even the year, you want the solar panels to move too, just the way sunflowers do as they turn to follow the sun's rays. When mixing robotics with solar panels, there is the Smart Flower all-in-one solar power system. It uses robotics and motors to fold out and follow the sun's path. Doing this can generate up to 40% more solar power than a solar panel that sits still. And at the end of the day, it will fold up and clean itself for the night, ready for the next day. People can even build their own DIY solar trackers at home using motors and a 3D printer, as seen by this open source project by the Open Source Classroom. Cubotics was a company that created Solbots. Instead of having expensive individual motors for each solar panel stand, an inexpensive railing was used to connect them all. Two robots worked together, driving to each solar panel stand to rotate them to face the sun. While one robot made the rounds, the other would be charging. And what about adding drones into the mix? How can they, along with artificial intelligence, add to the solar movement? Drones are used to map out plots of land and calculate the sun's exposure at different times of the day and year. This lets landowners figure out where is the best place to install the solar panels. And drones, along with artificial intelligence, are also able to fly over large solar farms, inspecting solar panels for damaged areas that need repairing. There will be more later in the video on how drones fitted with solar panels can stay flying for months and what they are used for. As drones survey plots of land for the best place to put solar panels, other people and companies are choosing to build on water, creating floating solar farms. One reason for building on water is because there is more space available to build. And another big benefit is that the water keeps the solar panels cooler, making them more efficient. There is the Sekdoorn floating solar farm built on a lake in the Netherlands that was switched on in 2019, and it only took 6 weeks to build. Ocean Sun have been building floating solar farms too. Prototypes have been built on the west coast of Norway, in Singapore, and the Philippines, and they are building full projects in Albania and South Korea. In the western Indian village of Gujarat, a solar power farm has been built on land that spreads across and covers a canal river. Not only does the canal water help keep the solar panels cool, making them up to 5% more efficient, but the shade from the solar panels helps stop the water below from evaporating, saving the water for crops and people. The shade also helps keep the water cleaner as it slows down the growth of algae. The project in India is called the Canals Solar Power Project and covers 750 meters of canal waters in Gujarat. And more states in India have been commissioning builds for solar canal farms. The idea of using solar panels to create protective shade can also be used on land. Agrivoltaics is a way of farming that uses solar panels on farmland while allowing food to grow under them in the shade. Because the crops are growing in the shade, when watering the crops, the water stays on the soil longer and does not evaporate as fast. This saves water as farmers are faced with climate change affecting water supplies and crop growth. Another benefit of growing food crops under shade is that the leaves grow larger as they try to capture as much sunlight as possible. This means you end up with larger leafy food crops ready for eating. The solar panels also provide farmers with a different income source as they sell the energy back to the grid. So far, we have covered using solar panels on land and water, but what about up in the air? Lightweight autonomous drones fitted with solar panels are flying in the skies for months at a time. Some are being worked on so that they can fly up to a year. These are being built to provide internet for undeveloped areas as well as communications, and they can be used for imaging and monitoring areas, for example when natural disasters happen, and for tracking wildfires. Google had a project where they were developing drones to provide internet for rural areas, but they ended up moving onto large balloons instead. Google's balloon project is called Loon, and they use balloons that are as big as a tennis court. These balloons use solar panels to power the equipment that beams down the internet network and keeps the balloons in the right place up in the air. There are also balloon projects being developed to generate solar power. The Sun Hope Project is a project started by Joseph Corey and Dr. Pini Gurfel, an architect and an aerospace engineer. The balloons are filled with helium and are made from a solar integrated fabric. The balloons attach to a power cable, a control panel, and a helium supply cable. This balloon system makes use of vertical space, effectively building in 3D rather than on a 2D plane like normal solar farms. And having balloons that can fly above the clouds allows for uninterrupted solar power. NASA is also looking into using solar balloons, but for the exploration of Mars or even Jupiter and Saturn. Solarpunk is a sci-fi future.
So this one finished already. So now we are in another topic. That's 6G. So you all know 3G, 4G, 5G is coming soon. Yes. But after 5G will be 6G. People are talking about it already. So what is 6G? 6G is actually talking about involved in satellites. So if you know that SpaceX has launched a rocket carrying 60 Starlink satellites to the universe. This is the reason why he is launching. is because of the 6G. So there will be thousands of satellites, mini satellites surrounding Earth. This one, it means that every part of the Earth will have internet access. Okay, this one is coming soon. For 6G, we know that 5G is available now, but in Singapore, I think next year we will be able to access. Some parts of Singapore already have 5G, but not every part. But for 6G to come, it will be another 8 to 10 years. Okay, by the time 6G come, a lot of things is going to change. So this is a Starlink. Why this one I talk about Starlink is because of this one, the 6G. They send out is SpaceX. They send out the Starlink satellite up. So this is yes. Let you take a look.
You're looking at 60 satellites hurtling into the sky. And over the next few decades, Elon Musk is hoping to send 42,000 of these satellites to space, 15 times the number of operational satellites in orbit today. It's part of Starlink, the expansive constellation from Musk and SpaceX that hopes to bring the world low-latency, high-speed internet, promising no more buffering and nearly instantaneous internet in every corner of the world. But experts worry it may come at a hefty cost for space exploration. Nearly half of the world's population does not have access to the internet, because most internet options require an extensive track of costly underground cables, leaving many rural locations offline. And while satellite internet can reach those areas,
traditional satellite internet is provided by a bus-sized spacecraft that is launched 22,236 miles into space in orbit around Earth.
that distance means the satellite can reach places that cables can't. But since that one satellite is meant to service a lot of people, its data capability is limited, which then limits connection speeds. And that signal has to travel a long way, creating a lot of lag. This is where Elon Musk and SpaceX come in.
Starlink is a globe-encircling network of internet beaming satellites that is trying to get you online no matter where you are in the world.
And there's a rather persuading element for SpaceX as well.
Elon Musk has said he's just trying to grab a small percentage of $1 trillion a year telecommunications industry around the world. If SpaceX can pull this off, the company could net about $30 to $50 billion a year.
Musk and SpaceX President Gwynne Shotwell say that much money could single-handedly fund the development of Starlink, Starship, and SpaceX's Mars launch infrastructure. As of early October, SpaceX has launched more than 700 satellites into orbit, with a plan to release a total of 12,000 over the next 5 years, half of them by the end of 2024. And Musk wants to add another 30,000 to that, coming to a total of 42,000 satellites circling Earth. All of these satellites will also be much closer, anywhere from 200 to 400 miles above the planet in low Earth orbit.
This reduces the connection delay that is found with traditional internet satellite.
Once in orbit, these Starlink satellites will be constantly on the move, which is why so many are necessary.
The problem is you have to have many satellites orbiting to make up for the fact that you can't stay in one spot above the Earth, because you need several satellites overhead at any one time to cover many users.
Every satellite will connect with several others via laser beams, creating something like the network's backbone. And to actually bring this internet into your home, you'll need to get a pizza-sized antenna. This phased array antenna can aim its beam at whatever satellite is overhead, which will maintain an internet signal in your home. But this scheme isn't without problems. Starlink satellites are bright. They reflect the sunlight and shine it back towards Earth, so they end up looking like bright, moving stars. As cool as it may look, that comes with problems.
Starlink satellites are most visible in the night sky right before dawn and right after dusk, which is the exact time that astronomers are hunting for near-Earth objects or asteroids, objects that could hit Earth and possibly harm us.
And as more satellites go up, so does the likelihood that they'll interfere with astronomers' views.
If Starlink continues to be a problem for these type of sky surveys, we may not have as much notice as we want to detect a near-Earth object and thwart it and prevent it from hitting Earth.
Beyond detecting deadly asteroids, the wall of satellites could also obstruct the search for new planets or even black holes.
SpaceX realized it had to do something, and it did. It created what's called a dark sky. which is a satellite that has all of its shiny parts coated in a very black, dark material.
It also tried adding visors to shield those shiny parts from the ground. But unless the satellites are cloaked like a spaceship in Star Trek, technology that does not exist, none of this will fully solve the problem. And even if it did, there is a much bigger issue at hand.
There's a concern about space debris because when you have so many satellites in the closest, tightest, densest orbits around Earth, there's a higher chance that those satellites could collide with each other or with other satellites.
Those crashes would create clouds of debris that can orbit the Earth for years, decades, or even centuries.
And that debris can then disable or cause other satellites to crash into each other, creating even more debris, and this problem spirals out of control and in effect called the Kessler syndrome. And if we reach that, then essentially space is too unsafe to access.
To be clear, the risk of a runaway Kessler syndrome is very low.
But the potential impacts of that are so high that scientists are working very hard to control such an event from ever happening.
SpaceX has said its satellites can automatically move out of the way to avoid collisions. But dozens of SpaceX satellites are already disabled and can't move at all, posing a potential threat. And those concerned with SpaceX's plans are lobbying the FCC to rein in the company and more strictly regulate low Earth orbit. And that could make it more expensive and harder to deploy the planned 42,000 satellites. But it doesn't stop at Starlink. Amazon's Kuiper project, OneWeb, China's Hongjian, and other projects are looking to challenge SpaceX by launching their own global networks of hundreds or thousands of satellites. If they all got their way with little to no regulation, we could end up with 100,000 satellites encasing our planet within the next 10 years, dramatically increasing the risk of blocking off space for everyone. You're looking at...
Okay, now the other one will be the AR, VR. Okay. AR is the augmented reality and VR is the virtual reality. So what is the difference between these two? Augmented reality will be something like this one. Okay. Means that you can see the real environment with some of the buildings inside there. Virtual reality is everything is fake. Okay. So this is the two. This is the difference, AR and VR. AR is augmented reality and VR is virtual reality. This market is going to take off. Now it's 2020. You can see that by 2025, it's a tremendous boom. Yeah. So what are the applications? The application can be everywhere. So especially in the industrial. This one.
With 26% of manufacturing workers over 50, analysts anticipate over 2 million unfulfilled skilled manufacturing jobs by 2025. Job functions across the manufacturing and service value chain are most affected, but the skills gap is more than just a retirement problem. There aren't systems in place to train new generations of skilled workers. There's increasing competition from other job types and more skilled jobs to fill globally. Meanwhile, physical assets are becoming more complex and individualized and demand further training. To maintain expertise and help close the skills gap, companies will need to slow train new generations of skilled workers. There's increasing competition from other job types and more skilled jobs to fill globally. Meanwhile, physical assets are becoming more complex and individualized and demand further training. To maintain expertise and help close the skills gap, companies will need to slow the skills drain, maximize current skills, and refill the skills reservoir. The answer lies in industrial augmented reality. It gives users a way to overlay digital data on top of physical assets and environments, which is a game changer when it comes to closing the skills gap. Industrial AR provides a more efficient way to train workers using interactive digital twins of physical assets, so workers learn faster and retain more. By overlaying instructions, equipment status, or performance data atop complex, customizable, or frequently changing assets, field workers can be ready for deployment faster while reducing novice errors. Inexperienced workers can also virtually connect with experts in a shared view environment for more effective collaboration and problem solving, eliminating the need for on-site expertise and creating a shareable expert archive. To learn more about how industrial AR can help your organization close the skills gap, download our ebook.
Okay, So this one, which company is really into it is Facebook. Okay. So far, I haven't seen any company that's really into it. Only Facebook. So the rest of the company are actually catching up. So what Facebook is doing?
Oculus Quest is an all-in-one VR system. It's just you and your hands, completely free and immersed. With 6 degrees of freedom, state-of-the-art optics, and built-in audio. You can forget about wires, PCs, and phones. Oculus Quest is ready to play when you are. The headset relies on 4 ultra-wide angle sensors to map your environment as you navigate through it. And with Oculus Insight tracking, every move you make in the real world translates right into the game you're playing. Combine that with Oculus Touch controllers, and the game is at your fingertips. So when you grab, swing, or cast a spell, you'll feel the power of every gesture. The next level of VR gaming is finally here. Introducing Oculus Quest. Oculus.
Okay. So the next one will be the blockchain technology. Yes. So what is blockchain technology? I think you all know about Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think every one of you know. The foundation of this technology for Bitcoin is blockchain. Okay. So blockchain is actually a string of blocks connected together. It involves many types of technology, IT technology, too many, in fact. So the famous cryptocurrency you should know, it should be Bitcoin. The second one is Ethereum. Recently, China digital yuan is already here this year. Okay, they have built their own digital yuan. So other countries also looking into it. So now Euro is looking into the digital euro. A lot of people talk about Bitcoin. It's a fake and nobody trusts it. I think this year the whole mentality have changed because even DBS set up their own crypto exchange this year. Our DBS bank. Okay, so you all know about stock market, right? You buy stocks. So Singapore Exchange is the place that you buy and sell stocks. Am I correct? So for crypto also got exchanges, but all these exchanges doesn't belong to Singapore. It's worldwide. In fact, in Singapore, there's a lot of cryptocurrency companies. And if you are in this industry, you will know that all the founders are actually in Singapore. The most famous one is the Binance. This one, the number one, Binance. This Binance, the CEO is the CEO, the CIO, the COO, all are China people. But they are the number one exchanges in the world. Huobi, this one is also China one. This Binance, although it's a US, as you can see from here, actually their CEO is all China people. This Huobi is the China one. This one is also China one. This is Japan. Bittrex is US, and so on. Those common ones will be the Gemini, Polynex, Kraken, Bitfinex, Huobi, and Binance. Okay, these are the common ones. But the biggest one will be the Binance. For cryptocurrency, most of you will know about the Bitcoin. For those developer, okay, software developer, system developer, they use Ethereum, this one. This two is the most prominent one. This XRP, this one is actually mostly used in the bank. but this one is not as popular as Ethereum and Bitcoin. The difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum is Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency appear in the world. Then come Ethereum. But a lot of people is using Ethereum for developing system applications. Okay. Just now I mentioned that Bitcoin cryptocurrency for the past few years, past 10 years, some people believe it, some people don't believe it. But this year, mentality have changed. People start to believe already. Okay. It will be a common thing nowadays. So for blockchain technology, where can you use? Okay, it's for tracking. It can be very secure. It can be all kinds of things. It can be used in the agriculture. It can be used for the supermarket and so on. So in Alibaba, they use the blockchain for the farm to shelf journey for food supermarket. They will tell you, okay, this fruit, this apple is from where. You can trace all the way from the supplier, the distributor, the farmer, what kind of insecticide they use, what kind of fertilizer they use. They track everything all the way using the blockchain technology. So this one, they have been using quite some time already. This is quite an old video. You can take. Sorry. Okay, for this one, okay, all these are using blockchain technology. Okay, this figure, this number, the price, the barcode, the QR code, everything is stored in the blockchain. So you can see that this one is actually by Alibaba Group. Okay, even Alibaba Group, they also got their own hotels. If you go to internet, you can see that the hotel is there's no people inside the hotel to serve you. So everything you check in, check out, you have to do it yourself. Okay, so that's all for my talk. Okay, hope that you can have an informative session tonight. Any questions?
Please explain about Bitcoin, the China, Bitcoin in China.
Bitcoin in China, okay. In fact, if you look at